Welcome back to the Daingeon, everybody. On today's episode, we're checking out this huge 48-inch OLED monitor from Acer. This is the Predator CG48. Stick around.
Nice to be in orbit.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Daingeon. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe below. On today's episode, I'm reviewing my first OLED screen. This is the Predator CG48. This is a gaming monitor from Acer. This thing is a 4K resolution monitor with 0.01 milliseconds input lag, 138 Hz refresh rate, HDR10, and AMD FreeSync. I'm going to test it using the PS5 and show you some games, as well as some YouTube footage so you get an idea of what the picture quality looks like. Thanks for joining me here on the Daingeon, and let's get going. All right, we're going to begin today's episode with a quick unboxing, and by quick I mean I already took it out of the box. And the reason for that was really it's just a bunch of styrofoam packaging to begin with. So really I wanted to show you just the massive size of this thing. Measuring 48 inches from corner to corner, and it has I would say a matte or a satin finish screen. This thing is massive. It's got an edge-to-edge display and it's super thin. The inputs included on this are aplenty. Let me just say there are 4 USB 3.0 inputs on the left-hand side here. There's also a USB-C port, a display port, and 4 HDMI ports. One of those ports being eARC and HDMI 2.1. On the other side, you have your power button. Back behind here, you'll find a toggle switch, just like most other Acer products, along with your functionality buttons, and those are all customizable. There are 4 of those buttons, and then back behind that is your power supply input. Now, this monitor is capable of being wall mounted, and there are 4 screws on the back so you can attach the mount that would work best in your situation on your wall. There's even a cable management portion where you can hide wires with a rubber wire tie. Inside the box of the CG48, you'll find 2 nice aluminum foot stands. Both can be connected by 2 Phillips head screws. You'll get the remote, a power cable, an HDMI 2.1 cable, a USB-C cable, a USB-A cable, and your documentation. As mentioned in the review, this new 48-inch 4K monitor, being OLED, allows gamers to immerse in a super bright and huge display right in front of them. It's super smooth, it has action scenes thanks to AMD FreeSync, and it's super fast with that refresh rate because it can be clocked to 138 Hz. The OLED panel delivers stunning images with superb contrast and brightness, with wide viewing angles and a brilliant color range. It has HDR10, which allows for those deeper blacks and whites to come through. And that HDMI 2.1 port supports your PS5, your Xbox Series X, and PC gaming. It also has that super wide DCI P3 98.5% color gamut, which really shows off its beauty in a lot of these YouTube videos. The USB Type-C port gives you 65 watts of charging and data speed. The built-in KVM switch lets users switch between desktops, laptops, and you never have to change monitors. It's huge. It has multiple ways that you can put displays on the screen, which I'll show you later in this video. And it also meets, like I mentioned before, that UGR anti-glare standards, making it easier to view the monitor in like any environment. The remote is made of plastic. It has your usual media stick remote controls, your power button, your source change button, your back button, your home button, your settings button, and then your volume up and down, along with your toggling wheel in the center. Monitor setup was fairly straightforward. I took the two 27-inch monitors that I had on my desk previously, and this thing filled that space with no problem. I did have to put it at an angle, but not a big deal. That viewing angle and that anti-glare screen really helps. Switching over to the CG48's on-screen display, you'll notice you can select between different inputs, different color modes like HDR, graphics, eco. All of those present a different picture, and on this OLED, they're very customizable, so they do have a lot of cool options depending on what you're using this screen for. When it comes to the rest of the menu, you have your typical picture settings, color settings, audio selection, gaming, your on-screen display orientation, and different system settings. You can go through all of these things and very much customize it to exactly what you need. You can change things like black level, the hotkey assignment on the back, picture-in-picture, and it being an OLED, it even has an image refresh selection. So it'll go to a shutdown mode and kind of clean itself up and make sure that there's no possibility of burn-in. You can see it here with this blinking red and blue light going through that. You can check out the website for more details on that. And the cool thing, and I know for those that are meticulous and want to see your frame rate, it has the ability to display the frame counter. So if you're playing on a PC or if you're playing on your PlayStation 5 and you want to know exactly what you're encountering when it comes to frames per second, this monitor has that. Using this as a monitor on your desktop functions just the same. You can select between DisplayPort, HDMI port, and like I showed you before, you can split the screen. So on the left here, I have a picture of my work computer, and on the right, my video editing or Macintosh computer. Makes it super easy to multitask. You can see it pretty well. I would say that some scenes it's harder to read font, but that's to be expected when it decreases the size of the image. However, it still stacks up to about two 24-inch monitors. And if you're not too picky about orientation, you can even put it to full screen and it'll actually take up the entire monitor on each left and right hand side. Using the CG48 as a one-screen monitor is probably the best way to do it. So much real estate. Just look at this image. All my video editing software is so easy to use. Everything is clearly laid out. You can see that the resolution is super sharp and it allows you to get through your certain tasks with ease just because you have so much room to mess with your different programs at the same time. No more squinting, no more looking hard for different ways to change your exposure. This OLED monitor gives you a true definition of what your image should look like. And for those that are looking to buy a 48-inch monitor for work, I can proudly say that this works really well with stuff like Microsoft Excel, Word, PowerPoint. Gives you a ton of room to work with. So let's get to the bread and butter though. How does this thing perform when gaming? Well, I can honestly say that whether you have a well-lit environment or an area where you can view all your content in complete darkness, this monitor is awesome. OLEDs alone are awesome, but this one being so large and able to fit in a compact area like your desktop where you can sit close to it, you can see all that detail on all those different games that allow you to play 4K, 120 hertz, HDR. This thing is phenomenal. It has great brightness and you can control it very well too. So if you are getting a little bit strained, you can dim it down a little bit. There's different options to select color modes, but the frame rate is super smooth. If you have a PC that has the ability to overclock frame rate, you can get this thing up to 138 hertz. That is awesome. Now, I could only get it to 120 hertz when playing on the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, but I can honestly say the graphics are what blew me away, and all of the different gaming capabilities that it has, I don't think there's something you can throw at it that it won't be able to handle. The other cool thing is this can be used as a home theater television. It's a 48-inch OLED. You got to remember that's bigger than a lot of TVs that people have in their household. This thing has great color. It has excellent black levels. Movies, dark scenes, light scenes, everything looks fantastic on this, and all of those streaming apps, being that it's a monitor, can be played right through those HDMI devices because they hook up in the several ports that they have available. So you may be asking, what are my final thoughts on this monitor? Well, I really think it has everything needed if you are a gamer and a home theater guru. The OLED technology, the fast response time, the wonderful 138 hertz refresh rate, the HDR looks fantastic. This thing really does it all. You gotta have enough space for it, and you gotta have about $1,492.21 if you're looking to pick it up from Amazon. Now, this monitor goes without saying. Acer has done it again. They put together a great performing gaming monitor. Check out their website. Check out the Amazon webpage. If you have any questions, make sure you let me know in the comments below. Other than that, I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can purchase this if you're interested. Thanks again for joining me here on the Daingeon. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys next time.